Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005. Another season will begin today in live stream number 2 of 2 on this Sunday afternoon. It is a special one because it is the road to Daytona after all. 35 days until the Daytona 500 and 21 days until the live commentary season starts on the channel for 2022. But for today's live commentary, it is going to be NASCAR video game oriented once again. It is the NASCAR Busch Series season opener for the custom schedule season and the Hershey Kisses 300 at Daytona, the international speedway that, well, we know to bring on some great racing, and I'm sure we're going to see some great racing today. No fan vote for this season. I wanted to make sure I got one season in running as my favorite driver, Greg Biffle. Of course, my former favorite driver growing up as a kid, Biffle in the Busch Series for this really first custom schedule season with the Busch Series with these classic race games. And on top of the fact that it is a custom schedule season, I guess what we have to do is we have to go through the custom schedule itself. Already qualified for today's race just for time constraint purposes to get this going as soon as possible. So here is a quick look at the schedule in the middle of your guys' screen. Of course, today's race will be 120 laps, 300 miles at the Daytona International Speedway in the daytime skies to start the season off. Race 2, we go to Bristol for the first time in the daylight, 250 laps there. Race number 3 will also be on a short track at Nazareth. Of course, Nazareth no longer in NASCAR, but we will race there. Same thing goes for Rockingham, another shorter style racetrack, about a mile in length at the Rock, 197 laps. Then we go to Talladega for race 5, so 2 super speedways in the first 5 races of the year. Phoenix is going to be race number 6, race number 7 at the Dodge Raceway, our first mile and a half of the year at Atlanta, and race number 8. Then the Levi Strauss Signature Speedway, and our first road course race of the year, Old Spice Speedway, will round out the first 10 races. Old Spice Speedway, in fact, is the only road course on the Busch Series season, and it is the only road course race of the Busch Series season, a mile and a half road course there. Then we head to Michigan, a track that acts like a super speedway for race 11 before we go to IRP, and then an actual super speedway at Daytona for the second and final time of the season under the lights for 100 laps. Dover and Darlington will be races 14 and 15. Chicagoland, our second mile and a half of the year, will be race 16. Then at the California Speedway for the first time on the season as race number 17. Going back to Bristol but under the lights for race number 18, the Milwaukee Mile at race 19, and Homestead rounding out the first 20 races. Another mile and a half at Kansas, then Michigan, second trip to Darlington, Dover, second trip to Talladega will be races 21 through 25. Then we go to Texas, and then the final 5 races of the year will be Richmond, New Hampshire, Charlotte Motor Speedway, Las Vegas, rounding out the season at the California Speedway 2-mile oval, which will have a lot of drafting involved. If it is going to be a very tight points battle going into that race, it will be absolutely wild and chaotic throughout, I am sure of it. Jeffrey Giordano, NASCAR LOL, Cars One Boy, Billy Kramer, welcome into the chat, everybody. I think we had somebody else over in the chat earlier. Brian Rodriguez, welcome to the stream as well. I got asked about that. What happened in the Truck Series? We're still running the Truck Series, but because it is a Sunday, we're getting geared up for the Daytona 500. I want to have at least some sort of Daytona content every weekend from here going forward until the start of the 500. So this weekend, we're going to run the Busch Series race at Daytona. Truck Series will continue on again, likely tomorrow night. Go Bubba Wallace 23 NASCAR. Well, there you go. We got a Bubba Wallace fan down in the chat below. He should be one of the favorites, I would think, for Daytona come February. But here tonight, we'll see what's going to happen. Our driver, Greg Biffle, will be starting on the pole. Again, sorry, no fan vote season this time around, but there will be plenty more opportunities in the future. We'll be running as the Biff. I did not practice, but I did qualify, and quite honestly, in qualifying, I felt I was very, very fast. So, obviously, qualifying on the pole, I was 4th on the first lap, had to pick it up on lap 2, and I did just enough to score the pole. I have not won at Daytona on this game. Just throwing that out there before we start this race off. I am 0-4 at Daytona. I've only had 2 top 10 races, or 2 top 10 finishes at Daytona with the full races for points races on this game. And that would be the night race for the Busch Series in Season 1. I finished 7th. And then I also finished the night race in the Cup Series in Season 1 I finished 8th in that race. So I have not finished better than 7th in a full race at Daytona in this game. We'll try to turn that luck around today. And starting on the pole is going to be a big start. Do I like doing 100% races, and why? I like doing 100% races for the live commentary purposes of the channel. It makes it more realistic. And yes, I do have fun with it because I'm able to communicate with you guys throughout the going of the races. And I think it's fun because it plays out almost about as realistically as it possibly can for it being a video game. Strategy and everything else involved. Greg Biffle will lead the field to the green, and we are underway for our second and final season of the Busch Series on NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005. And most importantly, can I end the Daytona drought that I have had on this game? This won't be the last opportunity to do it. But at some point, you'd have to think that this drought is going to end. I haven't even finished in the top 5 yet. Had 6 races at Daytona in this game with the full race live streams. And Greg Biffle looks like he is going to lead the opening lap from the pole at Daytona. He'll get 5 bonus points as they work their way back to the start-finish line. Potentially, no, he's not. Jason Keller in the 22 on the outside will lead lap 1 with a dramatic run off the exit of turn 4 to take the lead from the Biff. And even from the pole, Biffle couldn't lead lap 1. Jason Keller to the lead into turns 1 and 2. He started on the outside of the front row, and he's trying to get this 2004 custom schedule season kicked off with a bang. Contact! Off the exit of turn 2, stacking up the outside a bit. Greg Biffle and David Green made a little bit of contact. All the pack pretty much stays on. David Green lost a few positions. And now the third place car gets into the wall off of turn 4, stacking everybody up. 2x2 on back. Biffle drafting closer to Keller, who leads lap 2. Into the tri-oval, down to the inside. Keller does not throw the block, and here comes the Biff. To the lead, into turn 1. Now we'll see if Biffle can lead back to the start-finish line this time around and nab those 5 bonus points. Trying to get his season started off strong. Dark Crypto, welcome into the chat. 8 people already watching, and we're only on lap number 3 of the season. Our second doubleheader of a doubleheader live stream Sunday. I said that really weird. I don't know why I worded it that way. The second race and the second live stream, I should say, of this Sunday doubleheader. I do have a little bit of sun glare in my eye from my window, but I figured it'd be more realistic if I didn't close the blinds. It was blinding me more in qualifying, I will say. It's setting pretty quickly behind my neighbor's house, so it's not directly in the way right now. Of course, Biffle riding the number 60 Charter paint scheme. It's the only paint scheme we will have for this Busch Series season. The purple and gold car. The Charter sponsor. So Keller led the first 2 laps. Biffle will lead the second 2 laps as he tries to block the 117. David Green's worked himself back to 3rd. Keller's fallen back to 4th. The entire 43 car pack still nose to tail, 2 and 3 wide all the way through. .117 with a run to the outside. Biffle with a block. I do like this paint scheme also, though, Michael. I'd have to agree with you on that one. On the quest to try and get Greg Biffle his second career Busch Series championship in this 2004 season. David Green in the wall again, this time off of turn 4 and all by himself. And one car has blown an engine right in front of the pack, Jason Keller, and that will bring out a caution. Caution is out for the first time today. A big crash in the tri-oval. Oh, a terrible crash, and the big one at Daytona early. Jason Keller blew an engine in the middle of the tri-oval from second place as he tried to get to the bottom of the track. They were 3 wide, had to have gone 4 wide in the tri-oval, but the contact was made instead. Caution will wave. Biffle will stay out of the pits. And we'll see if anybody else came in. I don't believe anybody else came in. I think we're all right. I lost the stream for a quick second, but I think we're okay now. A little bit of a lag on that restart. Not sure why. But I think everything is going fine now. Let me know down in the chat if everything is working properly and you guys can hear me. Just kind of missed the restart. Biffle nailed it. Single file following the big one, but you guys didn't miss the replay or any of the action leading up to the first caution and now the first restart. Billy Parker in the 66 car to the outside, and he'll take the lead with some drafting help. Dale Jr. in that outside lane, the Pied Piper at Daytona, working for third place to the outside of Biffle. Biffle will stay to the inside of the 117 for second currently, as Billy Parker will lead his first lap of the race. Biffle going to pull clear to the outside off of turn 2, holding on to second place, and Parker got way ahead of the pack. And that's going to give Biffle a massive run. 193 miles an hour into turn 3. Biffle had half his car down on the apron trying to get around Parker. He's going to slide up in front of Parker off the exit of turn 4. We have another lead change at Daytona. As long as Biffle leads back to the start-finish line, that is, and he will. Checking Parker up on that outside lane as Biffle tries to hold on. Yeah, I'm not sure why, but OBS disconnected on me for a quick second, so I had to reconnect it. Junior to the bottom lane now. Slides up to second place as they're 3 wide down the back straightaway. These guys are going at it early. We already saw the big one back in the middle of the pack on just lap number 6. What else is going to happen in this 300-mile race? Everybody stayed out of the pits during the first caution. Full Cup Series regular in 04, as well as Dale Jr. Kyle Busch, likely going to be one of the contenders for this Busch Series championship, is now on the inside. David Green goes high to block Jr. into the corner in that third and upper lane. Busch slingshots down to the bottom for second on Green. Green now to the outside with help from Dale Jr. as he tries to go for the lead. Jr. down now to push the 60 of Biffle. Nearly makes contact with Kyle Busch. And Kevin Harvick is also in the mix in the top 5, so a lot of the Cup guys are working their way forward. Biffle trying to crowd David Green. He goes up the track. He's in the wall off of turn 4, and they're 3 wide down to the bottom. Sketchy situation there as Biffle got tight, just trying to keep it off of Dale Jr., who ended up working to the inside, as well as Kyle Busch. And I believe Dwayne Borland in the 135 car also got through up to second. Biffle was just trying his best to keep it off of Kyle Busch, who made the pass for the lead off of turn 4. Major run down the back straightaway for Biffle. Drives to the inside of Dale Jr. Jr. trying to side draft and crowd Biffle into turn 3. Biffle now to the inside of Borland for second. And Busch is pulling away off of turn 4. I don't think he wants to do that, though. Mark Martin in the mix now. Biffle back to 4th once again. Martin to the inside, his teammate in the number 9. Biffle barely keeps it off the wall up the exit of the corner. giving Mark Martin a little bit of a bump draft down the back straightaway, trying to pull him away. Got to be careful not to bump draft into the corner. They do not. Junior to the inside of Borland for second. Help for Mark Martin. Martin going to take it 3 wide for second place off of turn 4. Thought about it at least. Didn't quite get all the way to the bottom lane. Martin with a big-time block on his teammate Biffle. Biffle just trying to hang on. Wild racing at Daytona in the early going as Kyle Busch somehow is just pulling away from the pack, and I'm not sure how. But if anybody can run him down, it's probably going to be Dale Jr. in second. But the Roush cars are on the bottom lane, and they're going to work together. Of Mark Martin and Greg Biffle. Martin to the inside of Jr. Into turn 3 for second. Harvick following Biffle. Very racy early on. Martin just cannot get around Dale Jr. right now. Jr. hangs on. Little shot in the middle of the corner now from Biffle to the back of the 9. Oh, wow, that was a big block by Martin. Biffle to the outside. His teammate was holding everybody up. Wasn't a clean pass on his teammate, but he got around him. Very small nudge. Biffle back to third with the pass on the outside of Martin. At least 2 cars out of the race. Somebody else has blown an engine since the restart. We had the big one in the trial when Jason Keller, who was running in second place, blew an engine in front of the field. Couldn't get down to the bottom of the racetrack in time. He was on the apron, but they were already 3 wide, which made it 4 wide in the middle of the tri-oval, causing the big crash. I'm not sure how many cars exactly DNF'd out of it. We know Keller's out of the race from it. And that was after Keller led the first 2 laps of the race. Junior and Biffle trying to work together as Busch is just pulling away right now. And you wonder if Kyle Busch for Hendrick Motorsports has the superior race car. Biffle is lodged on the outside. Kevin Harvick's got a little scuff mark on the right side of his car. Not sure where that's from. And Biffle's going backwards. Finds himself back down on the bottom after he loses spots to Martin and Harvick. It's kind of strange to me that Kyle Busch is pulling away from everybody. Biffle's got a massive run into turn 1. Drives underneath Harvick. And now he's underneath Mark Martin as well. I think Junior is probably going to be the one to lead this pack to the front, though. Biffle stalls the outside lane off. Biffle just keeps getting trained around right now. Harvick now to the inside of Martin. Remember, we won Harvick the Busch Series Championship in the actual 2004 schedule on this game in Season 1. Biffle wants to win at Daytona very badly. Everybody wants to win at Daytona very badly, even with the Busch Series. Big launch to the back of the 9. Biffle gets tight. And with him getting tight, he brushes the wall into turn 3. It's going to stall this 3-car group out just a bit. They're losing Dale Jr., Kevin Harvick, and Mark Martin. Biffle going to go high and block Borland. He's going to leave the bottom open intentionally for his other teammate of Matt Kenseth to get down there. So 3 Roush cars are inside the top 6. Biffle going to draft with his teammate Kenseth now. Try to get back to this 3-car group as Borland tries to hang on as well. Martin makes the pass on Kevin Harvick in turns 1 and 2. Massive run down the back straightaway for Biffle. Side drafts Kenseth on his way into turn 3. It completes the pass. Lap 20, halfway on fuel right now. Biffle might have made his move too early, though, on the 17 car. Weren't quite close enough to the other 3 cars in front of him. Borland tried to clear Kenseth off of turn 2, could not. Almost squeezed him into the wall. So, the outside wall. Biffle again going high to try and block Borland. Borland down to the bottom, looking to block Kenseth. Wasn't going to work. Biffle wants to get Kenseth back to the lead. They were closing in pretty quickly on the cars ahead of him. And that was the case, and they were quickly losing those cars as Biffle's 3 seconds off the lead in 5th. Could potentially be a fuel mileage race today. It's going to be borderline 2 to 3 stopper. Biffle's just going to go to the outside in the middle of 3 and 4. He's going to let Borland pass him, even if it isn't Matt Kenseth. So Biffle could be the push car to Dwayne Borland. Highest generated rookie driver right now in this race. Remember, we had a generated rookie driver win the season opener truck race for the custom schedule season. That was Casey Cook. Outside is not the way to go, though. Not to Biffle, at least. Biffle able to get back down, though, in front of Matt Kenseth. I don't think Borland's quick enough. They're still losing time. Fondale Ellery, welcome to the stream. So they hit the curb in front of your house? They get stuck or something? By the way, that last lap was Biffle's fastest of the race, 47.879. Kenseth also lost a spot. He's back to 8th place. Biffle and Borland are closing in on the cars ahead of him, though. Each of those last 2 laps were very fast from Greg Biffle. Problem is Borland's going to the outside in turns 1 and 2. That's not where Biffle wants him to go. Ron Hornaday in the 2. Closing in on these guys now. Biffle trying to get Borland to run the bottom into turns 3 and 4. Borland will do that. Only one car really has lost the tail end of this draft, and Hornaday now hits the wall off of turn 4, getting tight in line behind Biffle. Didn't get a chance to win the NASCAR Thunder 2004 championship in that first season, driving as my favorite driver, Greg Biffle. That would have been his rookie season in the Cup Series, so want to win a title with him. We'll keep at it until we do so. Of course, this is the Busch Series, but still. Tell you what, I was expecting at least a caution in this race, if not multiple cautions. We had 3 cautions in the season opening truck race. They were all in the final 32 laps. We saw the big one at lap 6, and a lot of cars have damage, and I was wondering if it was going to bring out any debris cautions after the fact. We haven't seen any yet. All it takes is one caution to stack the field right back up underneath one another again. You definitely tell that Borland and Biffle have closed in on both Mark Martin and Kevin Harvick. Even Dale Jr.'s pulled away from those 2 cars of Martin and Harvick. Hornaday to the inside of Biffle. As Borland started to pull away a bit, getting the draft perhaps off the 21 of Harvick. Kenseth's still in line as well as these cars start to get closer, bunch back together. Kyle Busch dominating the early going at Daytona. Again, in points races on this game at Daytona, I am 0 for 6. With only 2 top 10 finishes, and the best finish I've ever had here is 7th. And it was in the Busch race under the lights at Daytona. Haven't really led a lot of laps either. In fact, we only led 8 laps in the truck race here a couple weeks ago. In the season opener there, I finished 18th. Borland is caught up to both Harvick and Martin. Quarter tank of fuel left at the start-finish line coming to lap 30 right now for Biffle. That caution helped him save a little bit of gas. Not a whole lot, though. Borland to the inside of Harvick as Harvick goes wide into turn 1. Borland going up trying to block the 21 of Harvick now, and he does. Biffle backing up to get a run on the back straightaway to the back of Harvick. Jumps to the inside of the 21. He is there. Gets crowded a bit. Now he may be able to pass and slingshot the 135 of Borland as well. And if he can do that, that will line the Roush cars up once again. Contact as Borland's in the wall off turn 4. Biffle squeezed him. And is Biffle close enough now to draft off Martin as Harvick was able to cross over Borland? Borland hangs on in front of Hornaday and Kenseth for 6th. And Biffle clings on to Mark Martin. And he's able to draft with his teammate. I have very long Nextel Cup races on the custom schedule season. Yes, I'm sure I will. I don't know the actual race lengths yet, only because for every race. Mainly because I haven't actually made the schedule, so I haven't looked at the laps on some of the fantasy tracks. The non-fantasy tracks, I know the laps and the race lengths, but the fantasy tracks, I don't know all of them. That last lap was Biffle's fastest. 47.778. It's like there is a second car that pulled into the pit lane since the restart that has also blown an engine. So at least 3 cars out of the race already. We're not even halfway home at Daytona. In fact, only about a quarter of the way home. Still 2.8 seconds back, which is as far back as Biffle has been since moving to 4th place. Both front tires in the yellow right now for Biffle as well. Down the back straightaway, a giant push to the back of Mark Martin. Biffle went to go high. Martin blocked him, and Biffle stayed in the gas to bump draft his teammate. Very lucky to hit him square. It's hard to line up these Gen 4 cars perfectly when trying to bump draft. It could have caused a crash. Not only lining up the bumpers, but especially on a bumpier surface like Daytona back in 2004. A lot of cars coming out of the pit lane. The start of green flag pit stops. Kyle Busch is still out on the racetrack. Mark Martin running a particularly low line down the back straightaway, and that's telling me that he is likely going to be pitting this time off of turn 4, if I had to imagine. Lap cars going 3 wide in the middle of turns 3 and 4 towards the back. And no, Martin does not pit. And Kyle Busch is going to pit at lap 35. So Dale Earnhardt Jr. will now take the race lead at Daytona. Down to the inside. Big block by Martin. Oh, Biffle just made a mistake into turn 1. And that mistake may cost him a chance at trying to keep up with Martin in the draft. Harvick to the outside now after the loss of momentum from the 60. I believe we've had 6 different leaders so far with Dale Jr. leading. And I don't think Martin's even led yet in this one. Neither is Harvick. They're running 2nd and 3rd. Jr. on the bottom of the track, maybe pitting this time around. He didn't have a lot of draft, and Kyle Busch has had basically no draft since the start of the race. These guys are going to stay out as long as they can in case they can make it 2 stops. Depending on how cautions can play out, it's not impossible. Big run for the 60 of Biffle into turn 1 as he dive bombs to the inside of Kevin Harvick and makes the pass for 3rd. Slides up in front of him and right in line behind Mark Martin. Biffle is going, oh, caution, lap 37. Our 2nd yellow of the race in the middle of green flag pit stops at Daytona. And again, this could make for a fuel mileage race as somebody has spun out on pit road bringing out the caution. That's Robbie. Actually, I think it's Sean Batson, who is in the 157 in the Busch Series. I could be wrong. But if it is Sean Batson, I don't know how he spun out in the pit lane. I don't think I've ever seen that in this game. But Biffle will pit under the caution. I'm sure everybody who has not pit yet will be pitting right now. 4 tires and fuel coming up for the 60 team. No adjustments. Our 2nd caution of the day, and it comes out in the pit lane. I don't think I've ever seen a caution in the pits in a NASCAR video game before. This is a first for me. I've seen cautions exiting and entering the pit lane, but not in the middle of pit road seeing somebody wipe out. Dale Earnhardt Jr. will win the race out of the pits. Harvick 2nd and Biffle will be 3rd. All the lap cars who already pitted and went a lap down will have to line up to the inside of the lead lap cars on the restart. This could be pandemonium. Green flag back in the air at Daytona. Biffle on the outside getting squeezed. I don't know who that was through the bottom. Somebody was trying to squeeze him. Bump drafting going on with the back of the 10, Terry Cook. And that actually stalled the 60 of Biffle out. And he may lose the pack in front of him. He's got to be careful. A couple of the Roush cars looking to get to the inside. Actually, no, that's Paul Menard. I thought it was Kenseth at first. 3 wide up towards the front, as well as behind Greg Biffle, as they try to get up to speed at Daytona. Martin to the inside of Menard. Biffle going to draft with Mark Martin. Biffle's back to 7th. This is as far back as he has been in the race so far today. That was not a good restart for him. Stalled himself out a couple times. Gets by the lapper of Menard. Martin's closing in quickly on some cars down the back straightaway. But so is Biffle, and Biffle's just going to have to lift and let Martin pull down and block him. Yeah, the Buccaneers blew out the Eagles. I was hoping to go downstairs to a close game after that first live stream today, and I was wrong. That was pretty bad. The Nickelodeon game's on right now. Oh, Martin. Pretty bad block. It's going to put him 3 wide now as his teammate Biffle gets to the inside of him, but that stalled both of their momentum out. These guys have to go back to working together. Oh, contact with Manny Brown now. Greg Biffle and Manny Brown get together. Martin's pulling away now. Martin's on the inside of Dale Jr. for position as Kyle Busch continues to lead at Daytona and has dominated so far. The more cautions we see, the more likely it'll be a 2-stop race today. As of right now, it is very close. The 2 cautions we have had so far. Biffle just trying to keep pace right now. The 83 of Manny Brown. Loose getting into turn 3. See if he can close back in on him into the tri-oval. He's going to try to. I think Brown is a lap down. Ron Hornaday is just taking the lead away from Kyle Busch all of a sudden. So Busch not pulling away like he did on the last restart. Tim Fido in the 12 car. Trying to block Biffle down to the yellow line on the back straightaway. Biffle rolls underneath, makes the pass. Now he's on the inside of Manny Brown as well. Johnny Sauter in the 27. And a Richard Childress Racing entry also towards the front. He may be a lap down, not entirely sure. Sauter and Harvick potentially working together as Biffle still in 7th place, drafting behind this 27 car. King Brutus, welcome to the stream. Looks like Mark Martin and Dale Jr. are pulling away a bit. Under 95 miles an hour into turn 3 and in the Busch Series. That is blistering fast at Daytona. Cup car level speed. Biffle is a Cup regular, so I guess he's maybe used to it. With Martin up on the outside, Dale Jr. pulling away from him a bit. 3-car breakaway at the very front of the field. Biffle just trying to get a run on Johnny Sauter. To the inside he goes. Side drafts the 27 car. Into turn 3. Up the track, into the wall goes Johnny Sauter and Greg Biffle with some contact. Significant contact at that as Biffle tried to squeeze into turn 3 with a banzai move. And in return, cost not only himself, but as well as Johnny Sauter, who wasn't even on the lead lap. It was a lap down, he was blocking him. Biffle had a big run down the back straightaway, and he went for it. Sauter was really pinching him on top of that yellow line. And that is not good, because that is going to lose Biffle a lot of time to the leaders. Hopefully there's not too much damage to the 60 car as well. Biffle's about 4 seconds off the race lead. Give up the inside to Manny Brown. Brown trying to side draft Biffle, but to no avail. Biffle getting a pretty big run on the back straightaway as he pulls closer to Tim Fiedel in the 12 car into turn 3. Lap 50 already in this one. Very close to the halfway mark. Kenseth could potentially have a very fast car. If Kenseth's able to get in front of both Biffle and Fiedel, I think Kenseth could lead both himself and teammate Greg Biffle back to the front of the field. I don't think Fiedel is going to be fast enough to do it. Caution. Well, that'll stack him up again. Another caution flag. Our third of the race, and we're not even halfway home. Already as many as what we had earlier. And another crash. This one off of turn 4. Second one that the 113 car Buchanan's been involved in. The 108 car squeezed him off of turn 4. They both end up in the wall, and that will be the caution that Greg Biffle needed. And that's going to help everybody save a little bit more fuel to the end. Wow, and everybody pit except for Greg Biffle. Green flag back in the air. Biffle is back in the lead at Daytona. Was not expecting that. Lap 55 restart. Biffle gets a launch off the restart, and he has the lead at Daytona, clearing the lap traffic. Fiedel went high also to block Kyle Busch. Won the race out of the pits. 3x3 back in the pack again. That, I don't know what to think of that. Everybody pit except for Biffle. He's got older tires, just going to try to hang on from the field. It's going to be tough. He's got a couple lap cars working to the outside, so he's not worried about them. That would be Tim Fiedel and Manny Brown. Could be some drafting help potentially that Biffle needs to stay in front of everybody. Hermie Sadler in the 0-2 car also on the outside. Getting by as they get up to speed. Terry Cook going to get blocked off as Biffle will silence the run out on the high side now. Ron Hornaday on the bottom. He'll be looking for the lead in turns 1 and 2 at least. Harvick is in the middle lane, 3 wide. Hornaday slides up in front of him. Harvick nearly making contact. Biffle, oh man, with a big block to try and hang on to the lead on the back straightaway. Top of the two car of Ron Hornaday. Paul Menard to the outside. Also a lap down. All the lap cars are the only ones getting by Biffle since the restart. Biffle back to the inside of Menard. Menard, a teammate of Ron Hornaday and Kevin Harvick, who run right behind Biffle. I thought I banned that bot down in the... What's going on? Adding to the chaos, I guess, that we have already seen at Daytona. Hornaday to the lead off of turn 4. Hornaday going to get pinched off now by the lap car. Potentially. Hornaday has the lead into turn 1. Second time he has led now in this race. Biffle overdriving the corner a bit, trying to clear the lap car. Hornaday's getting a big lead out in front of the pack. Roush cars of Biffle and Kenseth on the bottom. Biffle trying to reel Hornaday back in. So everybody that pitted during the caution, they will still have to pit one more time before the end of the race. As far as everybody else in the field, or I should say as far as Biffle goes, because he did not pit during that last caution, I am not sure if he can make it on one more stop or not. That is going to be the big question. So everybody else is basically sacrificing, no, we don't think we're going to get enough cautions, and don't think that we can make enough fuel with the cautions we've had so far, that this race is capable of being a one-stopper to the end. Biffle thinks so, and he's going to take the lead in turn 3, power passing the 2 car of Ron Hornaday. Trying to get a little bit of drafting help off the back of Terry Cook in the 10. I don't think he's quite close enough, though. Another lead change at the line as the Biff is back out in front at Daytona, halfway home this time by. Halfway on fuel at lap 60. This is going to be close. A fuel mileage race at Daytona to try and get my first win at Daytona in this game. Of course, that's what it's going to come down to. Another close block between Biffle and Hornaday on the back straightaway. 1-2 Roush Fenway at the front of the field. Kenseth's up to second. Biffle slides up the track off of turn 4. Hornaday to the middle, 3 wide now with Harvick down on the bottom. 3 wide for second into the tri-oval. Now we're halfway home, 60 to go. Blocked down to the inside on the 21 of Harvick. Harvick trying to side drive Kenseth. Kenseth doesn't have a lot of help, but he does have Dale Jr. behind him. If you're going to have any help at Daytona, Jr. would be the guy. Harvick to the top. And Harvick leads with help from his teammate Ron Hornaday. Remember, Biffle is on older tires, so he's just trying to hang on for dear life in this pack. The more he leads, the better chance he has of holding on. Harvick getting out quite a ways on the back straightaway. Massive run for Biffle into turn 3 for the lead. Squeezes under Kevin Harvick with not a lot of room. And he's going to go up to block the 21. He's clear. What a move by Biffle on the bottom with a little room for error. Talk about a slingshot pass at Daytona. Biffle pulls one off on full display there, and he leads at the line. It's probably more laps I think I've led in a Daytona race on this game. Harvick again to the top and to the lead. And again, help from his teammate Ron Hornaday. Biffle gonna hop in line. He's got the 5 of Busch trying to take it 3 wide to the bottom. Didn't quite happen. Hornaday now trying to take the lead from his teammate Harvick. Off of turn 4. They're still nose to tail. Harvick goes wide. Hornaday trying to get to the inside. Off turn 4, not going to work. Turn 2, rather. Now they work their way into 3 and 4. Ooh, sparks flying. I think Hornaday may be bump drafting Kevin Harvick. That's dangerous in the middle of the corner like that. But they do pull ahead a bit on Greg Biffle. Biffle backed up to get the run. But Hornaday blocks him. And Harvick blocks Hornaday. Dale Jr. is up to 4th place. Harvick catching a lap car of Terry Cook. Harvick is going to get potentially stuck. Hornaday is 3 wide for the lead as Harvick was in the middle lane but holds on in front of the lap car of Terry Cook. Biffle trying to get to the inside of the 2 of Hornaday. Can't get there. Hornaday, does he have the strength to get by his teammate, the 21? Side by side for the lead off of turn 4. Dale Jr. starting to close in from behind. Biffle looking low. He wanted to go 3 wide for the lead, but he couldn't do it. Hornaday clears Harvick. He's out in front at Daytona once again. Jr. has a run down the back straightaway, looking to the outside of Greg Biffle for 3rd. Not going to happen. Got to give props to Greg Biffle for having older tires, but being able to hold on a bumpier Daytona surface where handling does matter to a certain extent. He's looking low. Harvick is trying to block him. Biffle's all the way on the bottom. He clips the 21. Into the wall goes Kevin Harvick. Big slide out of the 60 of Biffle. And Hornaday is taking off with the lead. There goes the lap car zooming by of Terry Another move by Biffle where he just tried too hard, but Harvick also was pitching him all the way down. And Biffle couldn't go any lower, and he's back to 6th. Oh, contact into the wall off turn 4. I believe went Kevin Harvick and Terry Cook. They're stacking up. Hornaday still pulling away, though. Quarter tank of fuel left for Greg Biffle. Biffle gets by Dale Jr. on the back straightaway, as well as the lap car of Terry Cook. David Stremme, I believe, is a lap down. Don't believe he's on the lead lap. We have not seen him yet today, so I'm really not sure. Actually, he would have to be in 4th, because that would put Busch in 3rd. Harvick is 2nd. Biffle to the inside of Stremme. Not a lot of room into turn 1. It looks like Biffle will make the pass for 4th place. Biffle's clear off turn 2. Busch was almost far enough to pull away from Biffle, but not quite. And Biffle just barely hangs on to the draft behind the 5. Dale Jr. rushes off of turn 2 down the back straightaway to draft off the 60 Biffle and draft his way past the 32 of David Stremme. DB Forever 85, welcome to the stream. Into the tri-oval now. Biffle to the bottom, underneath Kyle Busch. Biffle is fighting back into this one. Don't count him out on these old tires. He's up to 3rd with 50 laps to go at Daytona in the season opener. Can I end my drought at Daytona? In fact, I have never won a points-paying race at Daytona on a NASCAR EA Sports video game. That is not just NASCAR Chase for the Cup 05. Remember, I did not win any of the NASCAR Thunder 2004 Daytona 500s either. So we are absolutely looking for history today. For 6 coming in. That last lap was Biffle's fastest of the race, even on old tires. 47.642. And both Harvick and Biffle are pulling away from Kyle Busch and Dale Jr., David Stremme, Matt Kenseth, Mark Martin, all those guys behind him, as they try to run down Ron Hornaday in the 2. We've had 3 cautions so far. That's as many cautions as we had in a 100-lap Truck Series season opener a couple weeks ago. Lots of flying in rapid fire tonight. Another lap car, Manny Brown, will be coming up. Harvick had a big-time block on Biffle in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Stalled out the 60. Harvick's drafting off Manny Brown as well, trying to pull away from Biffle. Biffle trying to stay there with him. I think that Harvick is pulling away from Biffle, using the 83 of Manny Brown to help draft with him, and now Busch to the inside of Biffle for 3rd. 1/8 of a tank of fuel up for Biffle. For those of you just tuning in, it is a potential fuel mileage race for Greg Biffle, our driver for this Busch Series custom schedule season. We had our second caution of the race in the middle of green flag pit stops during the first set of pit stops today. Then our 3rd caution at lap 52. Everybody pitted except for Biffle. Biffle didn't realize the entire field was going to stay out. He was in 7th at the time of the yellow. But he stayed out. He's thinking he maybe can make it on one more stop. Busch is going to take it 3 wide. Underneath Kevin Harvick, Manny Brown on the outside, 3 wide for second place at Daytona. Biffle with a gigantic run to the inside of Dale Jr. And he takes it to Harvick. Contact with the 21. Into the wall goes Harvick and Manny Brown. And Dale Jr. falls back. Stremme up to 4th. Busch drives away in 2nd. Kenseth is inside the top 5 again. And we stay green at Daytona. Close quarters racing did not pay off there. Kenseth and Stremme draft and blow by Greg Biffle, who's still trying to pick his momentum back up, and Biffle may lose to 17 as far as the drafting help goes. Will we see another caution here today? Biffle needs to make it to lap 79 to have a chance if we get another caution for him to make it on fuel. He would have to pit coming to lap 80, and I don't know if he can make it that far. We have had one caution since Biffle's last pit stop. We'll see if we get another. And Biffle's all by himself with no drafting help anymore, so he can't really save fuel either. That last lap was about 2 seconds slower than his fastest lap of the race with no drafting help and old tires. Everybody hit that like button down below. Only 4 likes on the stream right now. 14 people watching. Subscribe if you are new for more daily NASCAR content on the road to Daytona. Hence the Daytona stream here tonight. 35 days until the 500. I will be there. We'll have the grandstand race highlights through every race I go to next year, including every race during speed weeks. And we will be doing live commentary of the Busch Clash. That is at the LA Coliseum as well at the beginning of February in 21 days. Our first of 20 races that we will be doing live commentary for in the 2022 NASCAR schedule. Big streams during the season last year, and it's going to be a lot of fun doing those again next year. Harvick on the outside was able to get past Biffle for 5th place. Biffle trying desperately to draft off of Harvick, saving as much fuel as he can, but in doing that, Mark Martin will get by on the bottom. Biffle back to 7th. Still trying to draft down the back straightaway. Pulls to the inside of the 9 of Martin. Will Biffle try to stretch it one more lap? He can. He's out of fuel into turn 3. Biffle has to pit this time. And I guess if he was going to run out of fuel, it was probably better that he ran out right then and there, as he was going to be coming in versus the following lap. So Biffle ran it as far as he could. 70 miles per hour is the speed limit. He'll make his way down. It'll be right side tires only for the bit. Topping off on fuel. I don't think he's got enough to be able to make it to the end. He's about a lap short of what he needed to be. It'll be 2 tires again. No adjustments for the 60 of Biffle. He didn't lock the tires up coming into the pits with running out of fuel where he did. Now he has to stay on the lead lap in case we get a caution. Which, taking the 2-tire stop, he should be able to stay on the lead lap, no problem. At least for the meantime. Obviously, he's going to be pretty slow getting up to speed. Not that many cars on the lead lap right now either. We get a caution, he's going to have to pit. He's lost a lot of track position. That's going to be the best situation for him. Still got a decent ways to go in this race. Will we get another caution? That's Hermie Sadler, the 0-2 car, right behind Biffle. This will help Biffle get up to speed maybe a little bit quicker, having a tiny bit of drafting help. If he didn't run out of gas coming into the pits, he probably would be a few seconds ahead of where he's actually at on the racetrack right now. But he would still be in 17th. Oh, we have some smoke in turn 2. Somebody might have nearly crashed that last lap. Kind of dissipating away, though, into the Daytona sun. Hermie Sadler to the outside. Biffle down low to block Hornaday. Needs to. Now he'll drop in line and try to draft with the 0-2 of Hermie Sadler. Ideally, if he could draft away with Sadler, that could help save fuel for Biffle as well. I don't think he'll make it. And Hornaday now brushes the wall off of turn 4. Biffle's left side tires are still older than everybody else's on the racetrack, but his right side tires are newer than everybody else's on the racetrack. Biffle desperately trying to cling on to the draft of Sadler. He's not going to be able to do it long enough. Oh, into the wall. Around goes Biffle. Our 4th yellow of the race, involving the 60 and the 2, the race leader. He was trying to block Hornaday. I thought he was clear off turn 2, but I guess he wasn't. There's a caution. And the field will pit. Well, Biffle will pit. Everybody else is going to stay out. 4 tires of fuel for Greg Biffle. He was at the back of the lead lap anyway. I think when the caution came out, Greg Biffle was still on the lead lap. It'll be interesting how NASCAR scores this. If they're going to put him a lap down because he was involved in the accident, I'm not really sure. It could really go either way. And if he is a lap down, everybody else is staying out anyway. So that would tell me that they will have to pit very soon after the restart to try and make it to the end. So it looks like it's a 3-stop race anyway. We'll see if Biffle can make it now with topping off during the caution. He's still going to be very close. Maybe only saved him a lap or 2. Green flag back in the air. 35 laps to go at Daytona. And he is on the lead lap. Two by 2 traffic. Gained 1 spot quickly on the restart. All of the lap cars to the inside of the lead lap cars. I'd imagine we're going to have a lot of cars pitting off the exit of turn 4, potentially even this time. Did Biffle save enough fuel under the caution? A lot of cars will be pitting off turn 4 as we expected. There goes the line, including Dale Jr., Mark Martin. A little bit of a stacked up in the tri-oval now, and that is going... Oh, we got 1 car slow on the bottom of the track, and I believe it's Kevin Harvick in the 21 as they go 4 wide to his outside. Harvick trying to merge his way back on, nearly sideswipes the 60 of Greg Biffle as somehow he fell out of line, and Biffle's back inside the top 10 with Kyle Busch to the lead. Got cars checking up. They're all trying to get to the bottom into turn 3. Biffle's going to go to the high side. He's expecting a lot of cars to pit here, and he's going to stay wide in case there's a wreck and just hope he's in the correct lane. Harvick stays out of the pits. Rams Nation, welcome to the stream. Who's a Blaney fan? Because I am. I am a huge Ryan Blaney fan myself. Oh, contact! Harvick just squeezed Biffle into the wall. Biffle's still going to get by. Kyle Busch will pit this time off of turn 4. Still not everybody has pit at the front of the field, and now it's David Stremme in the 32 who leads for the first time at Daytona. Beautiful slingshots to the inside of Kenny Wallace down the back straightaway, makes the pass for 4th. More cars will pit off of turn 4 this time. David Stremme gonna stay out though. As well as whoever's in second place also stays out, as well Kenny Wallace stays out. 31 laps to go at Daytona. Yeah, the four sets of tires is in effect still. We usually don't run into that problem with the truck series because all the races have been 1 or 2 stop races. With the shorter lengths, 3 stops so far in this race today shouldn't be a problem. Biffle still has that one more set if he did want to use it. So good for you remembering that, Michael. Stremme will pit. Biffle to the lead. 30 to go at Daytona. But he's got no drafting help. And he's going to try to make it to the end on fuel. This is very similar to how Biffle got his first career Cup Series win back at the Pepsi 400 in 2003 on fuel mileage and was basically by himself trying to draft with lap cars. The only difference is there are no lap cars for Biffle to draft with right now. He's all by himself. We get a caution. He may be a little bit better on fuel, but the entire pack is going to be lined up right behind him. Lap cars coming out of the pit lane. Went green with 36 laps to go. 29 to go currently as Biffle is just trying to make it to the end. Can he do it? This is going to be very much pressure packed. There's one lap car trying to get up to speed on the bottom of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2. Not sure who it is. It's the 119 car. So the 119, the only lapper Biffle has caught. And if he catches Biffle, at least Biffle will have some sort of drafting help to try and help him save gas to the end of the race. And how much faster is that pack of cars running? Biffle's by himself and on a little bit older tires than the rest of the field. Will they be able to run him back down in the final 28 laps to the end of the race? I wouldn't rule it out of the question. Trying to stay in front of the 119. He's going to let the 119 car go down the back straightaway, and then he's going to try to draft in line behind him. I don't think Biffle can draft behind him. Hopefully he didn't damage the car too much. Being involved in that caution back on lap 4. Or sorry, not lap 4, that 4th caution of the race. I'm going to alternate through the different camera angles the next little bit while Biffle's running by himself. Have not done that yet in tonight's race. Oh boy. Well, now Biffle just has to play the waiting game. Hope that it stays green first off. We get a caution. And we know Biffle can make it on fuel, but then he's going to have those older tires, and the rest of the pack is going to be right there behind him on the restart. He's going to have to block for his life. At least for now, he can defend, or he doesn't have to defend, and he can just stay around the bottom and just do whatever he can, really. I mean, he's not going to be able to save fuel down here at all. You don't want to let out of the gas at Daytona. You're going to lose a lot of momentum. He's already slow enough by himself. Comment in the chat down below. Do you think we're going to make it on fuel? It's going to be the first question. Second question, do you think the pack will catch up to Biffle before the end of the race? Already had a couple decent-sized wrecks. One big one back on lap 6. Trying to end the Daytona drought for myself on this game. The tire field has pitted 3 times now. Biffle is the only one to pit during the caution. Rules reversed from how the third caution of the race went, where Biffle stayed out and everybody else pit. Biffle's literally been off of strategy the entire second half of this race. We started with 35 to go. Michael thinks we're going to make it. Problem is, though, is we don't have any drafting help. We were able to go about 38 laps earlier in the race, and that was with a caution in the middle of the run, because we would have restarted at lap 41, and we ran out of gas on lap 79 going into turn 3. Or was it lap 78? It was lap 78 going into turn 3. But we had a caution where we were able to save 3 laps of fuel from laps 52 to 55. So I really don't know. It's risky. It was risky pitting, but you were at the tail of the lead lap. There was no incentive not to pit there. You didn't lose any spots if you were Biffle. The only way this could really hurt is if we do get a caution. Again, he would probably make it on fuel, but the likelihood of him being able to draft and stay with the pack is slim to none. He was able to do it before, and he was in third for quite a long time until he got into Harvick and made that mistake battling for second. And it stalled him out, and he was a few seconds off the lead after that. Billy thinks we'll make it. An unorthodox finish to Daytona. But I mean, this is about as close to replicating history as we could possibly be. This will be the 2004 season opener. And I know it's not 2003, but it's 2004. And it's the Busch Series, not the Cup Series, but still. We're racing as Greg Biffle at the track where he got his first career win at Daytona in the Cup Series. I have not won at Daytona on NASCAR 05, trying to get my first career win here. Both were in fuel mileage in a very similar circumstance to the end. But that pack is running quick enough that they should be able to get to Biffle with at least a few laps to go. If we stay green, we still have 21 laps to go, and they're only 19 seconds back. They were about 29 seconds back after they all cycled out of the pits about a dozen laps ago. It's the calm before the storm. This thing is going to ramp up to the finish one way or another. The only good thing is if the pack catches Biffle and Biffle's able to draft if he loses the lead, if he's able to cling on to the draft, he could save fuel and make his chances even greater of making it to the end. But as far as winning this race, it's going to be tough. I mean, he's going to have to hang on old tires and really hope for the best. 20 to go, 17 seconds ahead. He lost 2 seconds that last lap. The pack is 2 seconds faster than Greg Biffle by himself. Tim Irvin's back. He is ready. Drafting is going to help. It's also potentially going to hurt. The problem is Biffle needs to hold on to the lead because he doesn't know if he's strong enough to get back around those cars once they get by him the first time anyway. And I mentioned earlier that Biffle has 1 set of tires left at the end of the race. He's actually got a set and a half of tires left because he took right side tires only during his second stop of the day, not 4 tires. So for some odd reason, he did pit for 4 tires again, which he doesn't plan on it. Caution comes out. He's staying out. He's keeping the track position. And again, that would greater his chances of making it on fuel anyway, so you don't want to give up that track position, especially if we have more than 10 laps to go and all the lap cars are inside of the lead lap cars. That would just restart him at the tail of the field anyway. Position-wise, it would be that bad because he'd be in 18th, but there's no way he's going to pass 40 cars in less than 20 laps. I just don't see that happening, even on fresh tires. Plus, you put yourself at risk of another big one happening. Of course, that is if it doesn't happen already as it is. 18 to go at the line. Well, 12 and a half seconds ahead of the pack. Thrilling finish coming up on the way. Biffle's halfway out of fuel with 18 laps to go. Oh my gosh. Again, no drafting help is really hurting him right now. It is nothing but full throttle for the 60. We had some exciting racing with that live stream earlier today on the career mode for the World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series. If you have not watched it, I highly recommend going back to watch it, especially those first couple races of the stream were absolutely insane for the Regional Series Championship. Well, today, it's just all about winning, at least in this live stream, at the high banks at Daytona, something everybody dreams of as a kid. And Greg Biffle in the Busch Series to start this custom schedule season, trying to do it, and again, myself, trying not to go 0 for 7 at Daytona in this game. It is likely going to come down to the last lap once again, whether it's for fuel or the pack catching Biffle, and it's likely going to be both. Considering that the pack is about 2 seconds a lap faster, they're probably going to get there with about 12 to go. In the draft and a little bit fresher tires. They don't have too much fresher tires than Biffle. About 5 to 6 laps at the most for some drivers. Actually had some cars pit only a lap or two after the restart. So, I mean, those tires are pretty much evened out compared to the 60. The big thing is, too, they're going to have a massive run on the back of the 60 when they get there. So that very first initial block is probably going to be the hardest one for Biffle to try and defend and hold on to the lead when they get there. $15 to go. 6.5 seconds, a little less than 6.5 second lead at the line. Everybody watching right now, stay tuned. And again, like, share, most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Road to 10,000 subs here in 2022. Great start to the year thus far. Racing and the commentating. What am I doing after this? I'll be watching some football. I will be watching some football when this race is done. Seeing if my fantasy team can move to the division round in the playoffs. I made it to the division round 4 of the last 5 seasons. I made it to the, I made it to the conference championship 4 of the last 5 seasons, and I made it to the division round at least each of the last 5 years of my fantasy league. So I'm definitely planning on it. Yeah, the Cowboys and Niners are playing right now. The Nickelodeon Bowl. That's what I call it, at least. It's on Nickelodeon and CBS. I believe CBS. Lead is about 2.5 seconds into turn 3. 13 to go this time by for Biffle. Wonder if he'll have any help with some teammates potentially. We've seen Kenseth and Martin run towards the front of the field in this race so far. And will we stay green to the end of the race as well? Yeah, don't DNF out of this race. That'd be the last thing I would want. That'd be a terrible way to start the season. There was a big one on the final lap at Daytona in the Truck Series race a couple weeks ago. Will they make it back to the checkered flag here? Although we did see the big one on lap 6, and we've had one more caution this race than what we saw in the truck race, where we had 3 a couple weeks ago. Oh, it looked like there's some smoke off turn 4. There was a potential crash. I was wondering how the pack split so far apart from each other, and that's why Kyle Busch is so far ahead of everybody else. That's going to make it easier for Biffle to throw the block in the tri-oval. 12 to go, and Biffle's still in the lead in front of the 5 of Busch. So there was some smoke off of turn 4 the lap before, which pretty much staggered the front of the field. Hornaday's got a big run in the 2 car now as he looks to the inside of Busch for second. This pack is slowly going to get back together with one another. Busch fends off Hornaday into 3. Busch to the outside. Not going to have a lot of help, though. Big block. Biffle just put Busch in the wall off of turn 2, trying to defend his lead, and Hornaday's up to second. And Biffle somehow holds on in front of the 2 as he got down the racetrack in time. 11 to go. We still are unaware if Biffle's 100% going to make it on fuel. We know everybody else is plenty good to the end. And the runs will only get bigger as more cars build up in this lead pack. Down to the bottom goes Busch. No luck there. Biffle to the outside, where the majority of the cars run down the backstretch now into turn 3. Hornaday still towards the top. Biffle almost gave up the bottom. Busch nearly gets underneath him, but not quite. Off turn 4 again. Biffle up high, trying to control the lanes. Dale Jr., one of the fastest cars in the field today, is up to 5th, right in line behind David Stremme. Stremme trying to pull off an underdog win at Daytona. Of course, he competed for the Busch Series title back in 04. Hornaday to the outside into the lead off of turn 2. He drives past Greg Biffle. Biffle with a run. Stremme to 3rd. Biffle powers back to the inside. He's not going to give up. Side by side for the lead at Daytona. Stremme nearly takes it 3 wide off the exit of turn 4, and Biffle hangs on. Nine laps to go. Stremme and Busch on the bottom. Dale Jr. and Ron Hornaday on the outside. Stremme goes up the track a bit, trying to side draft the 2. Hornaday has a run off the exit of turn 2. Dale Jr. behind him. Jr.'s in the wall off of turn 2. Hornaday to the lead. That stacked the run up enough that now Biffle was able to hold on to 2nd place. Sends it into turn 3 down to the bottom. nearly clips the 2. I think he actually did bump draft him a bit, and that launches the 2 car out in front of him. Trying to make sure Hornaday does not pull away. 8 laps to go. Biffle's got a little bit less than a quarter tank of gas left now. He's going to draft back to Hornaday in turns 1 and 2. Dale Jr. is still in 3rd. Kyle Busch to 4th. Stremme back to 5th. Biffle going to try to make up another run down the back straightaway on Hornaday. Biffle with a run to the bottom. Hornaday trying to block down to the yellow line. He is squeezing the 60 side by side into turn 3. Biffle powers past him. Clear in 3 and 4, but now here comes Junior to the bottom of the racetrack. There's contact down low as they squeeze each other. Biffle barely keeps it off the wall. Right front now into the yellow as well. Hornaday hangs on to 2nd. Biffle has just clinched the most laps led at the line. With the pit strategy, it's allowed him to lead the most laps. Now can he win the race? Junior back to 2nd. Oh, Busch down to the bottom, and Biffle nearly turns himself. But he somehow holds on in front of the 5. Not a lot of help for Busch on the bottom. Dale Jr. on the outside. Has the run. He clears Busch for 2nd down to the bottom, looking to get around Biffle. Coming to 6 laps to go this time by. If a caution comes out in the final couple laps, the race could end under a yellow. Just making everybody aware of that situation. That the race could end under a yellow. Not like the Truck Series in this game where you get 1 attempt at a green-white checker. So 6 laps to go at the line. I think that's Kenny Wallace back in 6th place. Who's drafted himself up to the pack now as the pack grows bigger and bigger at the end. The runs will get bigger and bigger as well. Here comes Junior with help from David Stremme. Dale Jr. to the lead, and the crowd on the edge of their seats at Daytona. Junior, in real life, actually did win the Busch race in 04 as well as the Daytona 500. He leads this race right here, right now. But he left a lot of bottom open, and Biffle almost gets underneath him, but not quite, and Junior holds on. Caution could end the race at any point with 5 or less laps to go. So if you get the run, you have to take it. And will Junior be able to pull away? And I think that's Kenny Wallace, who has somehow gotten his way up to 3rd. Big run for Biffle into 1 and 2. Nowhere to go with it. Can't tell if that's Billy Parker or Kenny Wallace. Parker's led a couple laps today. But I believe it is Kenny Wallace in 3rd. I like donuts in NASCAR. Welcome. And you did join at the perfect time. Caution is out with 5 to go. Will that end the race? Dale Jr. leads with 5 to go. The caution's out for the 5th time. The big one at Daytona in turns 1 and 2, our second big one of the day. Paul Menard goes around, David Green goes around. There's about a 6-car pack back there that kind of stacked up into one another off of turn 2. This will help Biffle on fuel. I think we're going to have a restart. No cautions, by the way, come out on the final lap in this game, but the race is not over yet. We will get this race restarted. Green flag back in the air. It's going to be it. 1 lap to decide the finish of the race. The race has gotten restarted with just 1 to go. Biffle is going to get the launch into turn 1. He's going to take the lead away from Dale Earnhardt Jr. Jr. did not take off well in the restart at all because Kenny Wallace is now up to 2nd place. He followed the Biff. He pulls clear of the 8 of Jr. Down the back straightaway one final time as they get up to speed and they come to the checker flag. Jr. back to the bottom. Kyle Busch on the outside. It's Kenny Wallace trying to pull off the upset at 2nd. He looks wide. Off of turn 4. Biffle blocks the top. He blocks the bottom. One more time as they come to the checker flag. The losing streak is over. I finally won at Daytona, and it's going to be Greg Biffle who wins the season opener. Unbelievable. A green-white checker final lap shootout, and Greg Biffle has won at Daytona. nailing the restart to get around Dale Jr. Oh, man. Unbelievable. And the smoke show and the trial. The strategy had paid off in the end. The late yellows and all. Ugh. What a great day of racing. What a great day of racing. 2 hours, 7 minutes total time on this race. 5 cautions total for 15 caution laps. 23 lead changes. Average race speed of 141.13 miles an hour. Greg Biffle led 42 of the 120 laps from the pole. Gets the win. Luke Seltzer, welcome to the stream. What a crazy ending. Yeah, I know it. I thought the race was potentially going to be over on that final lap. Or with 5 to go, I should say, when the caution came out. But they got it cleaned up. They got the track cleaned up. And we were able to restart it. Dale Jr. finishes second. And to pass Dale Jr. on the last lap at Daytona, of all things. Kenny Wallace came close out of nowhere. Didn't lead a lap all day. Finishes third. David Stremme fourth. Kyle Busch rounds out the top 5. He led 30 laps today. Dominated the first half of the race. Herbie Sadler finishes 6th. Bobby Hamilton Jr. 7th. J.J. Yaley 8th. Ron Hornaday 9th. Hornaday also led 30 laps. And then Mark Martin rounds out the top 10. 18 drivers finished on the lead lap. We'll see who all DNF. We had quite a few of them. We had 2 big ones. Jason Keller led the first 2 laps of the race, but he brought out the big one on lap 6 in the tri-oval. We had a big one with 5 to go at the end of the race, which set up the green-white checker 1-lap shootout. Ashton Lewis also DNF'd on lap 12. He blew an engine. I guess that was it. We only had 2 DNFs. I thought we had more than that. We had 2 big ones, 5 cautions, but only 2 DNFs. I thought we had a couple more engine failures than that, to be completely honest, also. Unbelievable. What an ending. That was a great race in general. We had that calm before the storm there for about 15 to 20 laps before the final dozen. But you know it was building up for something like that. I don't think we could have expected the caution in a 1-lap shootout in that timely of a fashion. That the race did not end under the caution flag. NASCAR was determined to finish this race under green. And I'm glad that that was the case. That was my first top 5 at Daytona in this game. I was potentially 0 for 7 if that race ended under yellow. But finally got the job done. And in a couple weeks, we'll be running the Daytona 500 on NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005. As well, the Daytona 500 on NASCAR 21 Ignition, because we'll have the second season of the career mode coming up in February. Also, we'll have the Daytona 500 for the actual season that I'm going to be running with my favorite driver, Ryan Blaney. So we got 3 more Daytona races leading up to Speed Weeks as well. The Daytona Road Course, of course, potentially for the career mode as well. Well, not potentially for the career mode. Daytona Road Course as well for the custom schedule season for the Cup Series. I'll tell you guys right now that in the Cup Series custom schedule season, it's right at the beginning of the year with the 500 as well. So a lot of Daytona action leading you up to the Daytona 500 in 35 days, the Busch Clash in 21 days. Road to Daytona right here on the channel. I will be at Daytona live, and we will be doing live commentary of the Busch Clash. Those are going to be 2 very big days to start this 2022 channel. If you would, please subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. If you're a NASCAR fan, you should subscribe first and foremost. All on the road to hopefully getting in the commentating booth one day down the road. And then also, obviously, we're on the road to 10,000 subs right now. Goals to get there by the end of 2022. I think it's possible. I think we've got some big stuff lined up on the channel this year. A lot of new content coming up during the NASCAR season as well that you guys won't want to miss, as well at track videos, race highlight videos as well at the racetrack like I did last season for all the races I go to. And obviously, I think Speed Weeks is going to be wild. Might see some wild moments that might be on full display that I might catch on camera like I did last year. So thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of your night. Next live stream will be tomorrow. It will be NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005. Well, so, okay, before we go off, because the weekly schedule's not up for next week, what do you guys want to see? I should say right now also, instead of in the community tab, that there is a potential for a NASCAR 21 Ignition live stream tomorrow night. So it's either going to be a live stream at Bristol tomorrow night. If we do that, then I'll hold the premiere off for Richmond until before the Bristol race. So we'll probably run Bristol at like 6. And then maybe I'll premiere the NASCAR 21 Ignition race right before it at Richmond. I can tell you right now, it was a pretty boring race at Richmond. I'm not going to lie. I dominated it. I won't tell you who won. But Richmond by far is my best track in that game. So we could do that doubleheader tomorrow. Or we can run NASCAR 05 at the Old Spice Speedway for the Truck Series tomorrow as the live stream. I'll leave it up to you guys in the chat before we exit off for tonight. Either way, whatever live stream it is tomorrow night, plan on it being at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Should be the longest truck race of the season. I think it's 133 laps on a road course. It's a pretty long one. Billy says NASCAR 05. What does everybody else have to say? If we do 05 tomorrow, then we'll just do the Bristol night race on Tuesday. But I do want to live stream the Bristol night race on 21 Ignition. Michael Turner wants to see the Old Spice Speedway race as well. Yeah, 133 laps, 200 miles. Next race for this custom schedule for the Busch Series is at Bristol. I don't plan on running any more Busch races until after I finish the Truck Series season. I just wanted to get Daytona out of the way with us being on the road to Daytona. I wanted to make sure we were going to be able to get to it in case I don't finish the Truck Series season before the end of, or before the start of Speed Weeks, because you got to figure the 500's in 35 days, but I'll be leaving for the 500 about 5 days before the actual 500. Plus live commentary of the Busch Clash is all I'm going to be doing that day, so you're looking at about 29 more gaming days before the 500 on top of other related content that we're going to have on the channel here. So we're getting close. It looks unanimous like NASCAR 05 is going to be tomorrow night. I think I'm still going to hold off on the premiere. I want to do a triple header tonight, but I also have a lot to do tonight on top of it. I want to be in the chat for that race. So we'll go... I could probably push the truck stream back. I know it's a longer truck race, but if I push the truck race back to 7 tomorrow, I think we'll have the premiere of NASCAR 21 before that. We'll do a doubleheader that way. So instead of the triple header, I guess today, we'll have a doubleheader today, doubleheader tomorrow. Looks like you guys in the chat want NASCAR 05. So I think that'll be the plan. I'll have the weekly streaming schedule up in the community tab If not by the end of the night, early tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. Again, like, share, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Premiere then for NASCAR 21 Ignition. Career mode, Richmond, full race highlights. After that, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005, Truck Series racing at the Old Spice Speedway. 9 races to go. Close race for the championship right now between Bobby Hamilton and Carl Edwards. We'll see what happens next. Thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of your Sunday night. Enjoy some football, and I'll catch you tomorrow.